It's been a long time, hasn't it?
The ancient texts spoke of you. Reveal your secrets to me. By the stars, such power. The energy is awakening. It's responding to me. I can feel its power. Show me the way. What magic is this? It responds to my touch. The orb awakens. It calls me to the path. The orb guides me to the tower. What secrets await inside?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Oaks AI Story Lab. Took me a while to figure that, remember that. My name's Joe Bandel, the Oak AI Story Lab. And this is starting a totally new series of lessons that is pretty exciting because it is tying things together in a way that I do not think is tied together anyplace else in the world. Look at what I got. Can you make that the Sparks Field Manual? Look at that stick we got it. What you're going to be doing, what I'm going to be doing from now on, is a literal course. It's a course, and I'm going to be talking about and showing certain things that we need to talk about, or that I think we need to talk about. And because of the organization of this book, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be kind of creative. Also, I'm going to be watching I don't want my videos to be overly long, so I'm probably going to try to stop them at about the 30-minute point, which means we might not get that far in what we're doing. But the Sparks Field Manual is basically talking about, it's inspired by a story that I tried to write that was kind of a science fiction fantasy adventure called Sparks of the Eternal Oak. And I made an outline for this story several years ago. It was a 12-chapter hero's journey adventure. So I was really trying to work things out, make it okay. And it was kind of a neat story. I really always wanted to do it. Then AI came along with the ability to create video movies, to create video clips. And I wanted to make a micro movie of Sparks. So I kind of tried to learn how to work with generative AI for the artwork. I learned how to create a still, which is, it's not a video. It's just how you have to be able to create an image of the world that your imaginary world that you're living in, and you need to have a lot of things happen. Like if you have a character and you want to have that character in a story, that character you've got to be able to duplicate that character. they got to look pretty much, they got to look the same at the beginning of the story as they do at the end of the story. You know what I mean? So a lot of these where you generate your own character and you got to train it and things like that, I don't think that's really going to work. What you need to do is you need to have something that knows how to make things straight up. So I'm talking about things like Imagine, DVid. There's plenty of them out there right now that you go ahead and if you want a certain kind, you have in your mind, you have a picture of the world and that you want to create or the character that you want to create. It will make it and it will animate it. That's what we're looking at. So straight up, what I'm trying to share with you is I'm coming into this where I have taken a story that I wanted and I've done two things with it. First, I made the story outline, a pretty substantial outline where 12 chapters, I wrote 2 pages representing each chapter. That's not a lot, but on the other hand, it's really something. I had the main things down. So what we're talking about, if you're looking at this course and you want to get something out of this course, you have to have a backbone of a story. You have to have a story that you want to write. Not only write, that you want to make into a movie. I'm trying to be straight up. For all of you people that have followed the my first lessons in this course, in this, everything's changing now because I'm talking about things from a totally different perspective. And I'm trying to be as honest and clean and realistic as possible. And I'm trying to give you what you need, something that I am still learning how to do. So because that brings up another point. After I had done that, after I had kind of done my short video of where I'd actually created Sparks as a short movie, and that was actually, there were 10 video clips of, I think there were only 6-minute video clips per chapter, 10 6-second video clips per chapter. So it wasn't a very long movie at all. Okay. But I did it. I actually persevered and I kind of got a rough thing. And if you look at the last lessons, I shared those with you. They were the lessons that were an animation that was Disney, Pixar oriented type of thing. Well, what I wanted to do now is I wanted to make a bona fide, real movie. Because I was learning more things, and it was getting to the point where I was getting able to do some pretty good stuff.
You're finally awake. I knew you would be. Let's see what you can do. This changes everything.
Morning, Alara.
Morning.
Think you can fix this?
I'll take a look.
You'd better not let the enforcers find you with that thing.
Oh, you mean Glim? He's just a toy.
Well, I hope you're right.
I'll have your repair ready this afternoon.
Thanks.
Nice first impression. Don't worry, you made it through another inspection. This one has unique engravings. No matches, this is something new. What is it, Glim?
Ancient Proctor core, non-functional.
However, it's still a struggle, because when you're working with AI, you're working with generative AI and trying to create a story. There are a lot of unique things. And that's what the Sparks Field Manual really kind of gets down to. Now, am I going to sit here and I'm going to read page by page of that kind of thing? I'm going to do a little bit of that probably, but what's important is to try to pass on the understanding that we have. Because what happens is, well, you gotta know what you want. Now, I use Imagine, which is part of the Grok Studio, and I use Imagine to generate the video clips. I use Chat GPT to assist me in working with the prompts, because it can translate what I want into prompts better. But it doesn't need to be that. I use that primarily because it's what I know. I like it, and it is pretty cheap, really, when you think about it. It's pretty cheap. The limitations of using what I'm using that way are pretty clear. One is, if you want to do some violence, if you want to have something that's a little more mature oriented, you're not going to be able to do it on DVid, or you're not going to be able to do it on Imagine. That's for sure. They're basically pretty much like general audience movies. You're not going to get any R-rated videos out of either of those video generators. And I'm not trying to. What I'm trying to do is a symbolic movie, trying to make a symbolic movie. But I'm trying to tell you, if that's the kind of movie that you want to do, you're going to have to find a model, a video generator that will create those kind of things for you. You're probably going to end up paying for it too. But that's the fun of this stuff. The next thing is, okay, what kind of video clips are you making? There's things out there there's people out there that they're talking, hey, I can make a 15-minute video clip, and that and get the story. I can put in a basic storyline and it'll do all that stuff, and that is incredibly, I'm like, go for it. If that's what you want. I'm not going for it because I don't buy into that. That is why we're talking about this book. That's why we're talking about what I'm doing. The first thing that I want everybody to do, if you are interested in learning how to make movies with AI, check out my Sparks movie. You can find it on. I have a YouTube channel that's called The Oak Tarot of Love and Romance, and it is a playlist on that channel. My name's Joe Bandel. You might have to type my name in. You might have to go for The Oak Tarot of Love and Romance and find that on the YouTube channel. I also am publishing this on DeviantArt, so you can find it. But generally speaking, you're going to be able to find my stuff on the YouTube channel. If you go there, you're going to see episodes that I post. I'm posting episodes that are 6 minute or there's 6 video clips to an episode, generally speaking, and each clip is 10 seconds long. So if I've done everything right, what you are seeing is 1 minute of film for each episode. Generally, it might be less because I might have had to clip or cut some things out of the film. And you people, some of you are going to say, well, why the hell would I want to create that way? Why would I want to make a 1 minute film? How can you tell a story in a 1 minute film?
This one has unique engravings. No matches. This is something new. What is this thing? It's activating. The power is incredible. Whoa!
Clem, are you alright?
Or a 1 minute episode. How can you tell a story in a 1 minute episode? And maybe you can't, but I can. And that's why the first thing you need to do, if you're seriously interested in this stuff, you need to see what I'm doing so that you can make up your mind if that's what you want to do. Because if you want to do what I'm doing, I'll show you. That's the bottom line of what we're doing here. If you want to go off on your own, don't even try here. But what this book is, again, Sparks Field Manual, it's how to do what I am doing. And here's the thing that people don't really realize. I am trying to make 1 episode a day. That means I'm trying to do, on the average, it's 6 video clips that are 10 seconds long. and put them together as a moment in a story. I'm trying to do that in one day. It's doable. But here's what happens. Let's do the math. Okay, you're doing 1 minute of film a day. In 20 days, you have a 20-minute movie. Okay, that is the goal that I am looking at, is in 20 days, I'm going to have a 20-minute movie. And that's getting into the ballpark of a regular, honest to God TV episode. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the possibility of having in actually having a 20-minute episode in a month, or 3 20-minute episodes in 2 months. Now, we're actually talking about something there. Think about it. So what's all that mean? Well, what that means is I am going to start out this course by talking about just like what I'm talking about, and I'm going to put at least 4 clips, four episodes into each lesson that I do, because I'm only going to do one lesson a week. I'm going to try to be real about this. I'm going to try to give you a quality product for your time. But I'm saying you got to look at what I'm doing, and you got to see if that's for you. So this lesson, I haven't even opened this book yet. I'm just talking about what we're doing. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break it up a little bit, and I'm going to insert the first 4 episodes. It'll be the prologue, and it'll be episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. And what we're going to do next time is we're going to talk about some of the errors and some of the mistakes that I made in the prologue, that I made in episode 1, that I made in episode 2, and that I made in episode 3. So you can tell what we're looking for, and you can tell what works, and you can tell what doesn't work. And we're going to try to make to give you an overview and an idea of what happens. For example, in the prologue, this is not really part of the story of the Sparks story at all. That's why we call it a prologue. And it's supposed to be kind of like where Ilara met Glim for the first time and is trying to get to understand him a little bit, things like that. And there were some weird things that happened. For example, pattern lock happens a lot when you're dealing with AI. and video generations. But what happens is the AI all of a sudden thinks it knows better than you do what dialogue to say, and it'll just lock in there and you can't do much of anything about it. And so you're stuck. It's like, why the hell won't the thing do the image or the video, the motion? Why won't it do what I want it to do?
Clem? Clem, what are you doing? We're not supposed to be here. Someone might see us.
And so you can, right in that very first one, it's a little bit rough that way. You can see some of you can see, oh, maybe there's some things that I really like about this, and then you can say, hey, there's some things that look kind of wanky, or they didn't really work quite the way they should have. And that goes on for episode 1 and episode 2 and episode 3. You're going to see some things that are really cool. There's going to be some things that are really cool, but you're also going to see some things that kind of like, I wish I would have done them a little bit different, or they came out a little odd, that kind of thing. And this is the thing when you're doing movies the way that I am showing you how to do. You're always going to have that issue, because even though I wrote the story and I've gone through 2 iterations of it, and this is actually the 3rd time that I'm attempting to really flesh out this story, it's not going to turn out the way that I want it, that I imagine it in my head. It's going to turn out ideally a lot better, a lot more interesting, and a lot more fun. And that's the fun. That's really the fun of it. So when I'm going to read a little bit here. The Sparks Field Manual. Well, actually, I can read right off the screen because I've got that pulled up on the screen too.
Could I have a little more stew?
Elora, what is that?
I don't know. She appeared after we passed the old Forerunner outpost. Why is it forbidden anyway?
Nobody really knows. It's forbidden by the Federation, not by us. Searching for old relics is forbidden too.
Glim, where have you been?
What just happened?
It's a long story.
Cultivating living worlds through generative cinema. What's a living world? This is the difference between the kind of movie that I am creating and the kind of movie that other people are doing. The kind of movie that I'm creating, yeah, I'm only creating this frickin' movie 10 seconds at a time, or this story 10 seconds at a time for each clip, which is an episode. And what's an episode? An episode is a moment in time. It's like something happens, and to show what happens, it takes a minute. But in a movie that I'm creating, there's a lot that happens. I'm crowding an awful lot of interesting things into that minute. And that is what I am teaching. Bottom line, okay? That's why I'm asking you, go ahead, go to YouTube, look up Joe Bandel and find the Oak Tarot of Love and Romance, and then look under the playlist, and you're going to find the other one, which is Deadly Days, Tales of Dark Fantasy, which is where you're going to find the Sparks journey. And I'm trying to do at least 5. I want to do a video, or I want to do an episode every day, but I do at least 5 a week. So they're going to be building up, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's called living worlds, and what it means layers. There's many layers. It's rich. Whereas I see a lot of these homemade video clips or little short stories that are out there. Most of them are only one video clip, 6 seconds long. The few that are stretched out to maybe a minute, they kind of maybe have a human character doing something in a background, so they're not living. They're not looking like a regular cinema movie. So when you look at the clips that I'm putting in here, look at and see if it looks like a rich movie, if it looks like cinematic type things. Sure, you're going to see some errors, but you're going to see some cool stuff, and that's what I'm offering. That's what I'm sharing. Getting back, I am running out of time right here, and that's fine, because I want to prepare even a little bit more. But the way that this is set up, the way this book is set up, there's a part 1, which is seeing, learning to perceive living worlds. That's the beginning. That's the psychological aspect of the training. It's to understand, to wrap your mind around the training and what we're trying to do. We're literally trying to see the world in a different way, so that we can express the world in a different way, as a living world. Part 2 is the living craft, which is actually getting into the nuts and bolts of creating the video, the film, the way that it is. And part 3, the living way, when the craft becomes the person. that's when you get good enough at it that you don't need to open up the manual each time, and you can kind of wing it. That's the good time. But first we learn the idea of it, then we actually get into the hands-on nitty-gritty type of thing. So this is the first lesson of using the Sparks Field Manual. That's what all the lessons are going to be called. This is number 1. Till next time, guys. Till next week. Thank you. Bye.